Aurei plays Factorio Seablock. This is episode 63. We're looking to see if we can get started on this plant science stuff. This is the loop that we want to get infinite alien plant life samples. So we can see if we can make that work. Okay, so what we're gonna do is set up the plant science thingy production. So we'll have to sneak these wood blocks through because we could make them locally, but as you see, like to get them in any meaningful capacity would mean like adding these on a lot. We are actually getting backlog. I'm kind of happy with that. I was worried we wouldn't. Um, so that's okay. So these go here. Then we want to sneak this through. Could go up here. So let's use this stone pipe to just remove this. These are going up. So we can sneak these through here. Like this. And then and then what we could be doing is just go under these with the belt, right? So let's close this up. I do want to take care to not disturb this pump, but I think I hope this works. Yeah, it looks like we still have water here, so that's good. Okay, so let's go under that. And we can bring that over here. Want to add some landfill up here. And then let's see, so we can do one of two things, but I think we'll probably be crafting this down here. So I'll just for now make like a chest for the alien plant life samples, because we need to sort of probably carefully plan out what we can do with this science until we get the loop that produces these. Yeah, power-wise we're pretty good. We should be able to scale up the oil and gas stuff if we need to. Because I think, are there still, I guess there at some point, is there a part of this loop that could be problematic? I guess it could at some point get stuck if we produce too much sulfur from this, but otherwise I don't really see an issue. So let's see. We have the seedling nests that we need to get, and then this. So, and yeah, these need both. So that's what makes sense. I probably want to do the do I want to do the scaffolding first? We'll need to produce the paper locally from this. Yeah, actually, so given that we have this right here, it makes sense to do the paper first, right? So let's split this off. And we'll need some more belt. So let's get that going. Yeah, so here we'll have 3 assemblers. Let's use Mark 1s for these. And we'll need a little bit more space probably if it's 3 of them. So one will turn the pulp into it's actually just a 1 step. That's nice. Okay, then we'll need 2, I guess, right? So we'll need to do the paper production locally. Insert this, insert this, insert this, outsert this, and this gives us the scaffolding. So let's maybe check the ratios out. So this is 2 seconds crafting time for 2 paper, so 1 paper per second. This also gives 1 paper per second, so that should be perfectly fine to insert like this. Yeah, so that's 1. Then for the next step we're gonna need soil and compost, right? Yeah, soil and compost. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to. We can sneak that out here, double it up, or we could split it off here. But then we need to make the soil somewhere as well. This is actually kind of tricky. I guess we can do like split it off here, and then yeah, how we're going to get it through. This is kind of built tight now. We could sneak it up here and then down through here. The only problem is that I will have to move the windmills again, but that would be okay. I'd be fine with that. But that might be interesting. Let's see if we need to research something. I guess if we can do some convenience stuff, we'll probably want, like, I don't know how efficient like stuff like this is, but we probably want it at some point, so we might as well get it. It looks like resource efficiency stuff, right? So that's always nice. Yeah, and these loops, they're doing pretty good. We're getting some wood out of it still, so that's nice. It does mean that we're not really running on a backlog, which could be problematic at some point. The soil is also not that in that high of a supply, so we might want to be watching that. If we look at the mud, we're not getting that much, so we might want to upgrade these to washers too, right? That would increase mud production by a decent amount. That's basically it. So let's see if we can. How would we sneak this through? We could also, so this uses mud and yeah, we make soil, but we can also start making soil from sand, right? That was one of the other things. Yeah, we can also use sand and compost. And sand we actually get, we probably have a lot of it. Let's see. I mean, yeah, this is actually a much higher supply than mud. And this mud, maybe we should just switch to sand altogether. Does that make sense? I mean, in order to do that, what we could do is we could also repurpose this, right? So we could add, like if we could chain the fluid out of one of them at the sand producing one. I like that actually. Maybe we should go with that. Yeah, I'm not. So the only thing, basically, this chain now has a dual purpose, right? So on the one hand, it produces the mud, and on the other hand, it produces the saline water for these guys. Yeah, but using like the mud is fairly energy inefficient compared to the sand. The sand is over here as well, but so it's which step uses the sand? I guess it's probably this step, right? This gets thin mud water, and then we can create sand, use it thin mud water. So we could do this one, right? We could just chain this water out. The only issue is then that this gets split. Yeah, but so the thing is that we would want a clarifier to. It is kind of tricky, but it does make sense to go and start doing that, right? Because we no longer need the mud then. I mean, well, okay, so the mud is still a free side product, right. That doesn't change. So maybe if we look at it that way, it's not that big of a deal, right? I mean, we want to use the mud anyway, so we might as well. We're even still getting some bonus landfill out of it, so why not? But yeah, so we still have the issue of how do we get the stuff we want to here, and I think the prime candidate is to sneak it up here and then through the electrolyzers. I'm not really seeing another way. Alternatively, we could make, like, we could merge some of these, but then we have to split them out again, and I don't think it really adds anything. We also need to make sure that we get enough extra product from this chain, right? We're still like burning a lot of stuff, and it looks like we're not getting a lot out of it. Maybe what I'm gonna do, just to make sure that we have enough products here, is scale up this energy production. Because if this scales up, this energy consumption part will scale down, but all the side products will still get. So let's look at how this is doing. So this is fine, this is fine, this is running all the time, or is it? Well, at least it's consuming all the algae, right? So probably first step is adding another algae plant, and then we'll probably add another assembler as well. So in order to get that, we'll need some stone brick. We do have the required steel. Let's pick this up. Here we have some stone to get. Yeah, we can craft one now. Let's fill this in. And we're gonna run another algae plant Mark II. We have some spots left. Let's fill those up. And yeah, okay, so once we scale this up, that means that this energy production will slow down a bit, and all the waste products, all the overflow that we get, can go into the other stuff that we need. So we have the farm, we have some copper pipe to connect it up, we have a power pole, and let's put down 2 inserters, just like here. Copy the configuration. I think I did put sides in there, which is nice. And let's, I'm forgetting one thing, the recipe. Am I forgetting something else? Yeah, the wrong way around. Okay, so now it's working, and I thought oh yeah, I wanted to pre-craft some inserters, some belts probably as well. A couple splitters would be nice, and let's do some assembly machines. Looks like at this time this manages to get all of the blue algae. That's quite nice actually, I didn't expect that per se. Yeah, it's starting to pile up here now as well. Is it? Well, yeah, this is sort of getting continuously. This seems to be doing well. Yeah. Oh, if we put down another one of these, we want to chain the fluids together. Yeah, we do need another assembler. Let's put that down. I'm still crafting it. Let's wait in that case. Yeah, so what's sort of prime to figure out is like if we are running into trouble here or here. I guess if we specifically need sulfuric wastewater, we can probably do this, right? Because this produces sulfuric wastewater without specifically using, like, it's just a raw byproduct. So that's would probably be good if we need to specifically produce sulfuric wastewater. This is probably the way to go. And same for the other sulfuric like water stuff, right? I think that's probably what you're meant to do. So let's get some of the other stuff. Ooh, this is actually nice. I could use that. Yeah, so let's put down another assembler. Some of these inserters and an output inserter. Some belt over here. Copy the recipe and put down the power poles. This is running quite continuously, but I guess it'll need another inserter. Might even need another in a bit. This still seems to be running fine, which is good. So we want to be making sure that basically once this oil boiler says, hey, I can't handle anymore, we'll add another one of these, another row of steam engines, and then we get to do that. We might want to consider putting an overflow valve in between before we add another one for the oil, for the same reason that we have an overflow valve over here, which ensures that the steam engines only get fed after we have steam. But in practice, what we could do as well is to make sure that we just have a dedicated one for steam, and then it should probably be fine. In fact, I think if I just connect them, it'll also be fine, right? Because the overflow valve is here, so we'd have to have real low steam production in order not to make this loop work. Like a lot of it would have to disappear. Like these take 200, and these segments are all holding like 80, so there would need to be a lot of runs in order for this not to work. Let's see. Yeah, so basically it looks like this can run most of the time, but it's not that. And in fact this one is quite quick, right? So, and this is starting to backlog, I guess, but it's not there yet. So let's just build it out a little bit more and see what's what. So we'll need another algae farm Mark II. Let's grab some steel from here. Let's grab some bricks from over here. We have some more stone to put in. That's nice. And we can craft one of those. So basically, next farm is probably like we need to sort of look at the belt saturation as well. So I think the next one we can make work, but after that we'll probably need a secondary loop, and that feeds another couple of these. It's really nice that we have so much landfill now. It really allows us to be a little bit more spacious in our designs. I mean, at some point we're gonna be tired of walking everywhere, but other than that, there's really no limitations. We have the second algae farm. Let's copy this, make sure it's the right way around. There we go. Over here we have this. Oops, that's delete those. Don't need that. We do need some belt. We need a power pole and 2 inserters. Let's copy these configurations again. And then we should be good, right? So let's see if the ratio is what I think it is. So these consume 10 LG in 3 seconds, and these produce 40 LG in 20 seconds. So it's actually not a nice ratio. I thought it would be, but that's so this is 2 LG per second, right? And this is about a little over 3 per second. So we could probably add another farm before we run into issues here. I do want to sort of keep an eye on whether this belt will be fine. Oh, we can actually see the belt speed. So it's 7.5 items per second. And this is, I just calculated this, it's 2 items per second. So this should be totally fine. Like once we add another, it's gonna bottleneck a little bit on this. Yeah, these are nicely working. This guy also gets to work, well, not continuously, but pretty close to it. It is starting to backlog, so let's add another inserter. I can also offset this a little bit. Okay, yeah, and this is starting to backlog now, right? So this is paused because we have too much oil. So that means we are in the position to add another array of these guys. We can craft one of those steam engines. We can't craft those because we're out of iron plates. And then let's go grab some. There we go. Which would allow us 3 more of these. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say we'll be fine on the dividing front, basically. So we can just run it like this and run this over here, and I'll just connect the steam engines right to that. Let's see what we do on power poles, and we're gonna see that power consumption is gonna be a little bit nicer again. Yeah, so what we really do need to be taking care of is the fact that our power consumption looks good, doesn't mean anything, in the sense that we need it to look good in order to get overflow in this part of the base. And if we don't get overflow here, then yeah, it's kind of annoying. So yeah, so I guess we do what we could be doing. So I mean, the compost we could just sneak through here, right? That would be fine. It's mostly the soil that's going to be an issue. And the soil will also make from compost, right? Compost but we want to be doing that with compost and sand. I mean, it's nice to have this mud, but compost and sand is just a lot more scalable. Which means that we might want to be doing it over here. Like, we're really starting to make this cross sections kind of like I was intending to build this way and build a bus, but it's sort of become a cross section, which gives a nice view for basically the Factorio feel, but it's a little bit inconvenient when you actually want to build stuff. No, let's figure that out next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.